Hey there, and welcome to the Trimester Bubble. I am Dr. Elyssa, and I'm a chiropractor and dynamic body balancing facilitator here at Body and Balance Chiropractic. We support mamas, mamas to be, and babies by helping them live their best lives. Here on the podcast, we'll be bringing you a ton of educational content for your pregnancy journey from both us and special guests. Whether you're thinking about starting a family, or maybe you're already pregnant or have kiddos at home, we want each episode to help lift you up. We know that this can be a confusing and lonely time, and all of us here at the Trimester Bubble want to support you on your journey that is mamahood. If you are local to the Boulder area, we'd love to invite you to our free quarterly pain-free pregnancy class that meets in person at the Community Roots Midwife Collective to discuss why pain in pregnancy is common and not normal, and what you can do at home to have a pain-free pregnancy. We meet on the second Tuesday, and our next quarterly will be in January. So as we get closer, we'll be sharing some more dates and times. You can always check out and see what events we have going on at www.bodyandbalancechiropractic.com. As always, if you love what you hear here, we would love for you to share with your friends. So feel free to send this link along, and it's always greatly appreciated. All right, let's get to the episode. Hello, everyone. Dr. Elyssa here, and on this week's episode, we're entering fall. We're entering this cold and flu time, and one of the things that seems to happen in my practice, in my personal life, is this time of year, I start getting the phone calls. I don't know if this is allergies. I don't know if I'm getting sick. I have a sore throat. My baby has a fever, and it's that time of year. So I know you're probably thinking, oh, great, she's going to get us some tips on how to get through it. And bear with me, we're going to get there. But the thing that I am really focused on is what can we do to prevent this? Why do we get sick this time of year? And I know our go-to is always to think cold weather. But I am going to challenge us to also look at what this last quarter of the year does to our systems from a stress perspective. So we're going to do a little game here. When I say holidays, what happens in your body? Do you relax and melt and fill with joy? Or do you go, I have so much to do. I need to plan for this dinner. I need to plan for this party. I need to get this schedule organized. I need to make sure my calendar is up to date. Whose family are we with this year? Which town are we going to? And all of a sudden, that to-do list starts to grow and grow and grow. And most people, when I say the word holidays, instantly go to that stress. They don't go to the place of relaxation and joy and happiness. And so this season, we're going to talk about how we can shift our mindset, shift our nervous system into that place of restful ease versus stressball holidays. And so we're going to fight these fall and winter cold and flus by starting now at regulating our nervous systems to get ready for the season. So, who's ready? You might be wondering, what does nervous system have to do with my immune system? How does this nervous system even manage? And great question. Our nervous system is split into two little arms. If you're watching me on YouTube, you'll see my fingers. My Italian heritage comes out and I start talking with my hands when I explain stuff. So, two little arms. And those two little arms, one puts us into a place of rest and digest. And this is where our sleep comes from, how our body digests food, our reproductive systems, all of those pieces is when our body is in that rest and digest place. The rest and digest should be balanced with the fight or flight, and that's called our sympathetic nervous system. And that fight or flight should be when we are being chased by an animal. With the way of our society, that fight or flight is now showing up with when our cell phones ding, when our emails ding, when we hear a sudden noise that we weren't expecting. And so we spend a lot of time in that fight or flight sympathetic nervous system. And when we are there, hormone reactions happen that shut down our digestion, that shut down our immune system, that shut down our reproductive organs. So when we enter into this holiday season and all of a sudden we flip into our stress response, now our digestive system isn't working as well. And spoiler alert, our digestive system hosts a huge chunk of our immune system. So digestive system goes down, immune system goes down, and all of a sudden we can't fight off those bugs quite as well as we could when we weren't entering this stressful time of year. So what can we do about it? And how can we, instead of moving into this fight or flight, shift over into a more peaceful way to enter into the holiday season? And I have 3 tips that I share with my patients, my friends, my family, to help them remember that this time of year, we can come at it through a place of ease and grace, and we don't need to be coming at it through stress and overwhelm. I'm not saying anyone's perfect, myself included. We're traveling this year for Thanksgiving, and I have my little stress thing in my head going, oh my gosh, we're going to be in the airports over Thanksgiving. And what if the flights do what they did last year? What if the airports shut down? What if we get stuck? And I feel you. I do the same thing. I run into that stress response, and my goal is to catch it and go, oh, I'm in the stress response. I'm thinking about things I can't control. I am future casting, worrying about things in the future instead of staying here in the present moment. So 1 is to call yourself on it and go, oh yeah, I see this. I don't want to be doing this. And then do something about it. So my favorite thing to do, because we're all busy, and so taking 30 minutes to sit in meditation all day, every day, especially if you have littles running around, a crying newborn, maybe you don't have time for that. And so my favorite thing is a quick and easy breathing exercise. It's called box breath. And we inhale for 4, hold at the top of the inhale for 4, exhale for 4, hold at the bottom of the exhale for 4. So you inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to do it without counting so you can get a sense of what it looks like. And we inhale. And as simple as that, it'll help you to stop, become aware of your breath, become aware of the present moment, and settle in. So when you notice yourself starting to look to the to-do lists of the future, stop and do 3 rounds of box breath. Do 1 round of box breath. Even as simple as becoming aware of your breath. Oh, I'm inhaling. Oh, I'm exhaling. Those pieces will help you to readjust and re-regulate your nervous system and settle back in. So step 1, breathe. Step 2 is look around. So right now I'm in my chiropractic office, and when I look around at my desk, I have on my screen my patient schedule of who's coming in next. What do I need to be ready for? On my desk, I have my cell phone. I have my iPad to take my notes. I have all these electronics around me. How much are these electronics infiltrating how I feel in my day and what I do? And so I highly recommend we take these little things and we turn off the notifications. My phone has been on silent for probably going on 10 years now. I know it drives my friends and family crazy because they can't get a hold of me unless it's cell phone time for me. And I did that because every time my cell phone dinged, I have a message. Ding, I have an email. Ding, I have a notification. I was getting anxious, like, oh my gosh, I need to get back to this person. Oh my gosh, I need to move right now. And that wasn't serving my health and trying to keep to that rest and digest place. So I recommend, especially this time of year when it might feel like you're being pulled in a million different directions, to turn off the notifications on your cell phone. Turn off the notifications on your computer screen. If your computer is hooked in and now your computer is dinging those messages, get rid of your notifications. It will help your nervous system not constantly be waiting for the next shoe to fall. And it'll help you be more present. So, but when am I going to check things? Right? That's always the question of when am I going to check things? When am I have to be there. I would challenge you to pick a time in the morning and a time in the evening. So my emails get checked at 6:37 in the morning. That's before I start my day with patients. So I want to make sure I get everything taken care of. And then it gets checked right around dinner time. I usually check right before dinner as my last closing round of work brain before I transition into family time brain. And so that's my email check time. And that's most of the time my text message check time. Instead of constantly being ready, I check things when I want to, not when my phone tells me I should. So that is number 2 to help you decrease that stress load is, as any place you can find a notification, turn it off. And number 3, this one is tricky this time of year. It's to really look at where you're putting inflammation in our bodies. So we have the mind game of where stress kicks in. And now we want to look at the body game of where stress kicks in. Inflammation is things that make your body hot, works overtime. And when we're full of inflammation, what that's going to do is increase our stress response and push our immune system to fight the inflammation. Once again, taking the focus of the immune system away from the pathogens, away from the bugs, and putting it into, oh, you just ate a cupcake, now your system's inflamed. Oh, you just worked out for the first time in 8 months, now your system's inflamed. Oh, you just went to 4 holiday parties in a row, now your system's inflamed. And so we can see with that list of examples, one of those things was a good source of inflammation. But when you add that good source of inflammation on to 3 bad sources of inflammation, your immune system is fighting a war against what you put into your body versus being on the protection for things that might be invading. So we want to decrease things that inflame us. What does that look like? That looks like sugar. The sugar season, in my opinion, starts. I'm recording this on the 20th of October, and we know Halloween is right around the corner. So for me, that's kind of beginning of sugar season. We go from candy at Halloween to pies at Thanksgiving to cookies at holiday parties, all the way through. And along with those things, we also have a lot of alcohol that comes into the picture. We have a lot of rich, heavy foods that come into the picture. And so all these pieces layer inflammation, inflammation, inflammation. So what can we do to combat that? One, go into this season prepared. It is a really big time. The temperature's dropping. We're not as naturally thirsty. And so anytime you go to grab a sweet, anytime you go to grab a snack, I am going to challenge you to drink a glass of water first. A lot of the times we think we're hungry, but we're actually thirsty. So you want to aim for about half your body weight in water every day. And so before you grab the candy, drink a glass of water, give yourself 10 minutes, and then reevaluate if you actually still are hungry. That's step one. Step two is to make sure you're prepared before we enter party season. If I'm going somewhere and I know that there's going to be a ton of food that doesn't align with healthy choices, I'll show up 80% of the way full. That way I know I've gotten in my nutrients, I've gotten in what I want, and instead of eating a ton of food that doesn't serve me, I can have one or two of my favorite things and still get to enjoy the party, but I come at it from a place where I'm prepared with healthy habits ahead of time. And the third thing is to bring healthy snacks with you. I love a snack bag. One of my friends actually introduced me to the snack bag. She is never without food on her. And I was like, that is brilliant. So I have adopted the snack bag. Nuts, seeds, fruit are kind of my favorite things. But if I'm in the middle of the day and I get hungry, instead of reaching for the chocolate or the candy bar, I start with that. So I always have some type of healthy choice nearby. Those things really will help you decrease the inflammation that you're putting into your body. So that way your body can handle inflammation from seasonal movement. It can handle the inflammation from the change of seasons. It can better manage. And when we let our immune system better manage, it also gives it space to protect from invaders. And so this holiday season, instead of looking at what we can do to heal when we are sick, instead, let's shift to how do we balance our nervous systems ahead of time? How do we keep our bodies moving in a way that's healthy and happy and balanced, instead of this place of go, 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 I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do this. So I hope that this episode helps you find some peace and some balance through this holiday season. And we'll see you at the next one. Bye. Thanks so much for joining us on the Trimester Bubble. We so appreciate your support. If you know another mama or mama-to-be who'd be interested in this episode, please send the link along to them. We also love hearing from you. Send us a message and let us know your thoughts or any questions you might have about this episode. I'm Dr. Elyssa with the Trimester Bubble, and we'll see you soon.